can't actually believe what I'm doing here. This day has finally come. Upstairs, my round corner is structurally sound, and I'm swivelling around on an office chair, which is just bloody weird. Ooh, that was the chimney. But yeah, if you'd have seen it the first day, which I'll put some pictures up of when I first bought the building, the floor was an absolute state. And this seemed like miles away, having a decent floor up here. And this video is just going to be going through. This video is going to be going through the floor from start to finish, all of the little niggly-naggly horrible bits that had to be done, the whole shebang. And then we'll go over this part here, putting all this floor down on this side. So yeah, let's get on with it. As you just saw, the floor really was a state. Some of the joists just turned into dust. The floorboards, some of them were okay, and then some of them, you know, I went through them quite a few times, in this area especially. So those joists completely had to come out, and they got pressure washed and treated for woodworm, because I've got a use for those later in the building, which you shall see in good time. And then it was a case of consolidating where the joists had come out of, so blocking up these holes, and then these original windows, which were made at Mattison's, the iron foundry which the building belonged to. Those I put some lintels in above there, cast a couple of pad stones, and put the RSJ in up there, which was a big heavy lump of metal, but it wasn't too bad shimmying it up on the ladders with ratchet straps. Wall plate got put into the web of the RSJ, and then on the other side of the wall for fixing the floor joist onto, putting the joist hangers onto, which my friend Alex helped doing that, and he helped dropping the joists in as well. So it eventually looked a little bit more together on that side. There was actually a bird's nest in one of these joists there, in a burn mark, which is still there to this day. Yeah, there's still a few bird's nests dotted around in the building, which I don't have the heart to get rid of. I think they're quite nice. The joists were in, which is good. That's my old car. It was on to the next thing, which was Johnnet. Lifting these joists up. So these are the original ones, and they were about 4 inches too low on one side of the building where it settled down. So I knocked a hole out of the top of them, lifted them up to this piece of wood that I bolted to the wall, and then got them fairly level, which is great. It's great to keep them in because they're original and they look absolutely gorgeous. And once they were pressure washed off and they dried out, it just really did bring them up. Got all of that muck off them. And the next job was putting in this bit of angle iron across there, which, because the roller door's there and how it's built, I couldn't really put anything in to support the floor. And it kind of has another job as well, which is the walls bulging out, and I wanted to help support that because it was blocked up, was the archway beforehand. So I thought best give it a hand. Shoved loads and loads of bolts into epoxy on there, so I don't think it's going to go anywhere now. Time will tell. And that angle iron is then welded onto the RSJ, which is into the whole floor, so it holds it all really tightly once it's all built up. Thank you very much for subscribing and for watching the channel. I've been blown away with the last couple of videos with how many people have been, you know, getting involved, and the lovely comments, even the comments that are negative but with passion. It's great. It's just nice to see. I'm sorry if I haven't messaged back. Thank you very much for tuning into the channel. Hopefully loads more stuff to share with you as well. So yeah, thank you. Then that's another support on the end of the RSJ to hold the other side of the wall. I tried fixing this one, but it didn't work. Ended up putting a stud wall underneath it. And this part was a real pain to do because those joists were just really rotten at the ends. Trying to get that set up. I ended up undoing some of the work I'd already done here. So behind where I am there, all these beeswax, I put those in, but I used cement and I used beeswax and I wasn't happy with it, so I ended up taking it out. And I sisted up some joists as well so I could walk on above temporarily, and got rid of the joists that I'd sisted and set on to doing it properly. I'm sorry about the portrait orientation on some of the filming, it's because I didn't know I was doing YouTube when I was doing this. Right, you can really see the problem now. We've got not too bad, but it still needs cutting back. And then same again, that is to come back to like there possibly. And then that one's really bad. It's been leaking in through that door for quite some time. And this one, which I didn't think was that bad, that one also needs cutting back, which is lucky because I just bought a spare. Bought a spare joist hanger just because I wanted it to put it on the side, but obviously I'm going to have to use it now. All lined and bricked up in there. Looks good. Admit defeat here. It's just such a shame. There just doesn't seem to be, even bringing it out, even if I cut it there, it still doesn't look great to me. And just that whole length is so good as well, but same with that, it's just all crumbly and horrible and crap. Hey. Because it's fine for about 5 metres on the really good straight bits of timber, it's just the ends. That one's absolutely fine. That one's fine after being cut back. It's just these two. Might have to have a look at the reclamation yards, but it just does seem a shame to have to take them out, really. Well, I'd devised a plan which meant that the original floor joist could stay, and that involved going to reclamation yard still. And I got this great big chunk of, I think it's pine. It's a lovely, lovely bit of wood. And the growth rings are super close together. I think there should be a picture somewhere showing it to, near a new bit of CLS. And look at the difference in the growth rings. There's the quickly grown stuff and the old grown stuff. Anyway, the idea is to shorten the existing floor joists until they're onto the good stuff and get rid of all the rot. And then put some plates in, some metal plates, sandwich them together. The wall plate kind of been mocked up, it needs to come down again a bit. We've got some steel bits on there, and the joist hanger's kind of in place, and ratchet strap holding that bit together. Missed a very exciting part.
That's just to support those ends.
Yeah, Well, getting somewhere near with all of these rotten joists. We've got some, I've put plates on the side and they sit quite nicely into those, but I'm having to twist them round. I don't know if you can see, but they're all a little bit here and there, and then it's a case of lifting them up and down so it matches up with what it's going on to. So it's a case of packing them up against this support and getting it somewhere near, or trying to anyway. And then this is bolted up to these, and it's fixed on with those little tags. I could have put some bar through there, but I wanted it all to be hidden, because this will all get rendered and insulated over with the wood fibre. So yeah, looking good. Twisty. This is how those have ended up turning out, and that's the wall plate on the lime plaster. Look pretty gnarly, I think. And I love the joist hangers. Right, going to be sorting some floor out. It's a wee bit drafty without these sheets down, because there's loads of holes and stuff in. So we're going to be overboarding all of this, lifting these sheets of plywood up and putting floorboards down, and then that lot is going to stay like it is for now because it's just above the garage. It doesn't really matter, so it's going to be great. Just need to have a bit of a tidy up now. These beauties are the brand spanking new redwood floorboards, which will only be viewable from underneath, but quite pleased with them. And they're from Europe. It's European pine, and you can see the growth rings are a bit closer together, and it's maybe one day someone will make some doors out of them or something. I'll just cut them up for firewood, but hopefully make doors out of them. Just installed these holes, so you can just, when you're tidying up, just put it on here and it's gone and you're tidy. Getting some woodworm treatment blasted on those beams whilst I could actually get to them, and it just looked lovely in the light with the woodworm treatment, how it was just lingering in the air and the sun coming blasting down on it. Then it was on to planing the cups out of these floors, because they've been so wet that they've cupped at all of these. I don't know if I'd actually got a picture of them, and it was just trying to get them flat so I've got something to overboard onto that wasn't going to end up distorting the overboarding. It is incredible how much they had actually cupped some of them, and it it completely and utterly destroyed the planer blade. A joiner would have nightmares, complete and utter night terrors, waking up in a hot sweat if they'd have seen the state that the planing blades were in at the end of it. And this was a pretty good job to do. It was really fun putting these floorboards down, getting those ratchet straps strapped up. Once you got the little jig and a system going, it was great. Much more enjoyable than putting the OSB boards down. And they look lovely too, don't they? The old ways sometimes are the better ways. Before the spiral stairs went in, I made this cheeky little hatch, which is a kind of a secret door going up into the roof. Obviously the stairs are a bit of a giveaway, but still it looks like it shouldn't be there, or it shouldn't be a door anyway, from below anyway. I enjoyed making that. There we go. Cheeky. That's the boarding going down, getting a bit of a clean up. And that's the overboarding, so it's like a structural overboarding with the USB, which was quite a job putting all of that down. And that needed to marry up with the second layer on the new floor, Ziggy picking faults. And there was a bit of that to contend with before putting the overboarding down. And some of the holes to fill up as well. So I've got some line popped into there, some hot mix line. The good stuff. I got very lucky with these floorboards. They were the same size and my friend was lifting them up to put fresh floor down in his house, and they're all in good fettle, so landed on my feet there. Once all that overboarding was done, it was time to put the staircase in and then continue doing the new floor. So there's the old bit, which we've just been looking at the overboarding, and then there's the new bit where I had to put the new joists in. And before doing that, I wanted to get all the cables in, get all the plumbing in, and then once the spiral staircase was in, I could finish off this floor, because I couldn't before that was in, because I didn't really know where things were going. Got the rest of that done and put the pipes in, then also put the ceiling in at the same time. I don't know why I put the ceiling in then. There was a reason behind it. So I didn't have to put the insulation in above my head, that's why. The other thing was that these bars, this wall bellies out, so those also went in, which goes onto the RSJ. So that's a tie rod going from one side of this wall where I am there to the RSJ to stop that wall from going any further away. But it'll be held really tightly now that all of the floor's going in. But it's just a bit of a belts and braces thing. And then it's time to put the insulation in. And now that brings us up to present day. That's that first layer of flooring, and I can stop annoying you with the narration trying to explain what's going on. Just need to lift this up a little bit, just so that it sits over the top of that. What's up, Ziggy? Back out with the template again. Hard to marry up with this template, but also to be the right distance from there. So I'm putting another layer over the top of these for strength. Tie it in with that and for the levels. So I just need a datum, don't I? Just trap my fingers. workbench in full swing for a little electrical job. These are for an electric gate, and there's a motor which goes in there, turns that gear, and this one hasn't been working. And the problem, I believe, is this bearing, and it's very, very stiff. So, winner. That's the armature. Goes in there. Hope you can see that bit. That bearing is haggard, completely gone. That's what's doing it. It's been binding. Bearing in a job is a peach. Another bad bearing. So I need to change that one as well. Righty here. So that's better, isn't it? Laughing. One's closing. And another one. Happy days. Right, back on to doing this floor again. Which isn't the most exciting job in the world, but it needs doing. Get cracked on with it and get on with the next thing. I don't know why it didn't occur to me before. So I've got this curve to cut here on this board. I think in theory I should be able to use this router, which has got the ball bearing that I'll push across the bottom one, and then it'll cut the board out, I think, anyway. Time will tell. Ah, the ball bearings come off, that's why. That's worked out alright, I think. A little bit of a mare with these, putting them down. The tongues and grooves, well, the grooves are all the same, but the tongues seem to be slightly different. You can just see there that that's a bit proud. It's bigger than it looks on the camera, and then it's, you know, if you put another board up, you'd have a big gap up here. It's just, so I'm having to sort of trim it down, but the grooves are the same and the bottom pieces are the same. Just this top bit, it's like it's not being cut properly. So, a bit of a hiccup really. And it's just making it quite slow work. Hopefully the rest of that stack's alright. But there's just been a few. I haven't even been able to use that one because that one's the groove's not deep enough. It's just like, it's like they're all seconds. Trying not to touch this for ages, but oh, if you look at it too hard, it's going to fall. Yep. Going to be using one of these chisels. Sometimes I do a good job of welding, and sometimes it just looks a bit crap. This time it looks a bit crap, and I'm looking forward to covering it up with a floorboard. We are underneath. Ooh. Nearly. Oh. Oh, it's lovely to walk on, is that? Oh, yes. Well, that's going to be it for this video. I mean, there's been some brilliant progress with this floor, and it just gives me somewhere to work from now. There's a little bit still to do here. This is to sort of fill up and get this insulation put in properly, but it's down for now, and there's a tiny bit to do over there, but it's there really. And the next steps I think are going to be a bit of consolidation, sort this brickwork out up there, now I can get to it off the floor, and then get these, I think they're purlins, tied into the wall, get some metal bent and get them in, and then the same goes for these, which I think are tie beams. So get these tied into the wall, because you can see here that's the wall's moved away from that a bit, and get stuff like that sorted out. Same purlins, get them tied into that wall, and then it's pretty solid. Same again with those tie beams, get those in. So there's 10 things to tie into the wall, and then it's insulation time. Get some wood fibre onto the walls. So yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching. Ciao for now.